Greetings, Lucky Legends. My name is Lucky. This is Lucky Lad TV. I am your host for this video, and it is finally time to start our new series, an interview with a YouTuber, and we are joined by an awesome first guest, Ms. Jim Leader Geo.
What's up, challengers and lucky? What do you call them? Lucky lads.
Lucky Legends.
Lucky legends. What's up, guys? Super pumped to be on this new series. First interview, get me.
All right. So basically, you live in San Jose, California. What's your favorite thing about being in California, other than always having nice weather?
Yeah, that's got to be number one. I actually, so I didn't grow up here my whole life. I was born in England, actually. So I moved over here when I was 10 and immediately fell in love with the weather. And then at any point in time when my parents were like, so what do you kids like, me and my siblings, like, what do you kids like? You want to like it in England? You like it in America? I was like, oh my God, do not take me away ever.
I've heard that the what's it called? The weather in England is a lot like the weather in Florida, where it can literally rain on half of the street and not on the other half. And I live in Florida. I've seen it. I live in Florida. I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
I mean, my memories of England were just lots of rain. I lived in a particularly rainy area. I lived kind of near the coast. I lived in a couple of areas in England, actually, but I always in relatively rainy areas, Cornwall, and I also lived kind of near Wales at one point. So they were always particularly rainy areas to begin with. So I don't know about the whole raining on one side of the street, not raining on the other. It was more just raining everywhere. Like Seattle. I'd equate it to Seattle before I'd equate it to Florida.
Seattle is the worst. I heard they get sun like 3 days a year.
Oh God, yeah. There's a word for it, and it's bothering me that I don't remember.
Overcast.
But it's something to do.
Overcast.
No, it's not about weather specifically. It's about the type of climate that it serves, because it rains more than half of the days of the year.
Depressing. That's the word you're looking for. Depressing.
Let's call it that. Let's call it depressing. And sorry to any of the viewers who might be in Seattle and loving it for reasons other than the rain.
The next question, and Steve told me to ask you this, is... No, it's not that bad. He wanted to know, what was your immediate reaction when he said, okay, you're officially part of the GBA?
Okay, so first of all, it wasn't Steve that told me.
Oh.
So he needs to lose that part of the question. It was John, aka Pokemans, that told me, and when he first told me, I was at work. The message came through on my phone. And my phone kind of blew up because he sent me a couple of messages all at once, and I was in the middle of a project, so I couldn't really look right away. And then I looked down at my phone when I get a minute, kind of peek, and I'm just like, what's Pokemon sending me a message for? And I was so pumped. I kind of let out a little squeal, but I'm at work, so I had to keep it a little professional.
I was hoping for the squeal.
Yeah. Definitely a squeal.
No, because when he told me I was going to be a writer, I let out quite the squeal.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, because I've always been such a huge fan of this. I've been watching it since season 1 because I've been such a huge fan of Shady.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, you're going to be a writer. And I'm like, okay.
That's exactly what you needed, and that's what you needed to hear to be part of it. It's a great community, and I love what they're doing with the writers, having you guys in here with us.
Oh, yeah.
They've made some great changes for season 4, and I'm just so excited for all of it.
All right. Another GBA question, just since we're on the topic. Who were you most excited to get from the draft?
This is okay. I'm gonna need to ask you a couple of clarifying questions before I'm willing to get to an answer. So, is the question, who is the favorite man on my roster? Like, I'm so excited that I got this Pokemon, or is it for the current round that I drafted? Anyone? Who do I think I was most excited to have?
Oh no, I just mean like overall. Like, who's your favorite player?
Mega Swampert. I think I don't have to bring the rain for him. I think it's awesome that Like I mean, against Hank, for example, I wasn't worried that much about outspeeding because the people I knew I was going to be using him against were
Slow.
just beaten by him
Yeah.
and couldn't really deal much to him. So I was going to be hitting him a lot on the switch. He's bulky. I can go really bulky with him. I love the rain play. I love that I can pass him with Scolipede. I used to love him in Gen 4 as an entry game, like an entry hazard setter and kind of like a mid game tank. Definitely couldn't wall anything, obviously, because of his lack of recovery. But it's just he's always been so fun to me. I love water starters, and I love starters in general. To be honest, I always wish for situations like this where they can be cornerstones of teams. So and he is in this one, and I got him in the very final draft pick, so that was even better. I didn't have to sacrifice any early picks in order to get him.
I was surprised nobody had taken him because, like, if you look at Shady picking up Mega Scizor, A-Drive picking up Mega Sableye, the idea of only having one weakness is really important. And whenever Shady's in a battle, he's like, everything has HP Fire. When you're in a battle with your Mega Swampert, are you thinking everything has HP Grass?
Yes and no. So I do tons of calcs before every match. Literally every single mon, I'll go through their attack list and find the hardest hitting move they could have against any of my guys. And usually, yes, that's HP Grass and stuff like that for Mega Swampert. But more important than that is it's knowing who's going to carry it, because he's not going to lead. Most players aren't going to put themselves in a position where they think their counter to Mega Swampert is a revenge killer carrying HP Grass, because if that is, it's too obvious, and they're going to be sacrificing a Pokemon every time in order to get their counter in. If someone can switch in against Mega Swampert and survive, then I'm not going to leave Mega Swampert in against that person. So you might have noticed in my last game against Miguel, I was actually very comfortable switching in Swampert frequently. He had several switch outs against his counter to Mega Swampert, but I was also able to switch in against a lot of people. And that's a beauty that comes with drafting a Pokemon who doesn't need to invest in speed to still be blazing fast in the rain. You can be bulky like that and not fear switching in. So it's a little bit different than Mega Scizor, who, even though he has respectable bulk also, HP Fire is a much more useful hidden power to have, and a lot of Pokemon can carry Flamethrower, whereas far fewer Pokemon can carry Energy Ball or Grass Knot. So I'm usually much more comfortable and know the counters to Mega Swampert beforehand, and know who's likely to carry those moves.
And this is going to be the last GBA question because this is like the transition question, which is, which team are you most terrified of having to face in the GBA?
It's Miguel. It's always been Miguel.
Oh, having to face him again?
And I have to face him again. Yep. Yeah, it's always been Miguel. His team matches up incredibly well against mine. I knew he was going to be an issue for me by his fourth pick. I was already like, oh. Just because the nature of what I knew I was doing with my team makes it that strong attackers like that he built such a strong offensive core, and I wasn't at that point in time preparing my defensive mon setups in such a way that I could counter that. So I knew his offensive core was going to be absolutely devastating to me before the draft even finished. I knew there's not much I could do about that. And in my opinion, he's one of the best battlers in the league. So
a lot of people are scared about him. I remember when they were starting season 3, and they're like, Miguel is part of it, and everybody's like, shit, not Miguel.
He does not give himself enough credit because
he's extremely modest.
Mm-hmm. He is, and he's a great team builder. I think that's his biggest strength, and he does actually mention this. He thinks that he's a better team builder than he is a battler, and I think I agree with him. But that's not because he's not an incredible battler. That's because he's unrivaled in team building.
Yeah,
absolutely unrivaled.
Like when people say, like Nappy, whenever he's building a team, he always goes to ask Nexus for help, and I'm like, Nexus is good, but like, Nappy, you have 290,000 subs. You can hit up whoever you want. Go get Miguel.
I know it's true. You know that that circle. Nappy, he did Mo,
Yeah.
uh, and Nexus and Shady and stuff like that. They're all very talented battlers too, and they have a lot of experience too. But there's there's something about them that strays towards entertainment in a very good
Yeah.
way. I mean, this in a very positive way. They stray
Well, for
lean closer
Mo, it's
towards.
pretty much all entertainment.
Absolutely, that's true. That's true. But Miguel is very much a competitive battler, and he aims to be an entertainer too, and he does a good job at
Could
that.
you
But
imagine if
it,
Miguel was into VGC?
oh boy,
Oh,
that's funny. The first time I ever met Miguel was I do a series on my channel that I haven't done for a while, but I did a series on my channel called Side by Side, where I would tweet out and get followers and stuff like that to do a VGC style doubles battle against two other people. And he was one of the first people that did that with me on my channel, and that's how we kind of bonded. And my word, he is significantly worse in doubles than he is in single battle.
my favorite thing was when Cybertron was like, "I do singles, but I'd probably get my channel shut down for being horrible." And I'm like, "Whoa!"
Oh boy.
But now that people are getting a little more feel about you, like you're an RN, registered nurse for those who don't know, which is awesome. How
Thank
how long ago did you start that?
So let's see how much I should get into. I don't want to say organization names or
Oh,
anything
no,
like
you don't
that.
have to do anything like that.
Okay. Well, it was my second degree. So my first degree was in psychology, and following that, I worked for a company doing case management work with adolescents and an at-risk population, and that was not. It was very rewarding, but also very emotionally stressful for me, and it leaned close. It
It sounds
I saw
emotionally
elements.
taxing.
Exactly. It very much was, and that leaned me. I kept finding myself wishing that I could do more of the things that I do now
Yeah.
back in that position. And so when I was there, I was like, "What can I do to do that? I need to make a life change." I think I was close to what I wanted to do, but not quite there. And then I was like, "I need to go back to school. I can't do it without it." So I went back and did a program. The program I did to get my degree in nursing only took me 1 year
Yeah.
because it's an accelerated program for people who already have a bachelor's. So luckily, it didn't actually take me that long to pursue that element of my dream.
All right, so the next question, and this is something that I feel it's really important that people know this about their content creators is how did you get your name?
Oh man, I love it. Okay, how did I? Okay, I originally was juggling between two names, and one of them was Nurse Geo, which was kind of a nod to Nurse Joy.
I like that one.
I know, but I worried that
Just because I'm imagining you in the Nurse Joy outfit with the pink hair and everything.
No, I unfortunately not. Not I'm not that ballsy, I don't think. Maybe if I lost a bet in the GBA, someone bet me in the GBA. Someone bet me. But
Oh, I'm
no,
gonna make sure that they see this. I'm gonna make Steve send this out to all the GBA members.
all right, I'm down. Yeah, so it was that, and I settled on Gym Leader Geo because I knew that starting out as a channel, it's very, very, very difficult to break through. The 10 sub mark, the 20 sub mark, the 50 sub mark. You need people to see you. And since nobody's watching you, nobody sees you. And since you don't really have a Twitter following, no one's hitting that like button and saying like, "Hey, I liked a video from this guy." So you need like a boost.
You need
You
a
need
marketable
something that
name.
lures. And so for me, I knew I needed something that was, something catchy. I thought Gym Leader Geo kind of catchy, and the theme of Pokemon was in the name, and it also gave me a unique content style to do, which is something I was really excited about, which is doing monotype stuff and stuff like that. I knew that I could. I'm not. Team building is probably my weakest suit. I'm not even gonna front about that. That's easily my weakest suit. But battling, I'm actually pretty good at. So
which is just like actual gym leaders, because if you think about it, their teams aren't very well built.
No, they're horrible.
But they're supposed to be like the best battlers.
Right.
And the other good thing about your name is that it has alliteration in it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like my name, Lucky Lad TV.
LL.
The reason I went for that is because, well, the origin of my name is because before I had an old channel that was Aviator Storm, and people would mispronounce it because since it's alphanumerical, it's not straightforward. Like, I sent Nappy some stuff for his P.O. Box polls, and he pronounced it Evader Storm. And I'm like, it's close, but, you know, I can't expect people to know how to pronounce it. Whereas Lucky Lad TV, it has the alliteration, and and the reason that I go by Lucky is because I have a ridiculous luck streak in TCG polls.
Oh,
to
really?
The point that in one box I got 8 full arts and EXs. And
I think that's good. I know nothing about the TCG. I'm not gonna lie. I know nothing.
The average is about 6.
Okay.
Because you're supposed to be able to get one out of like every 6 packs, and I got 8 out of one box, and I've got 7 twice. I've never actually gotten only 6.
There you go. So you're breaking up that bad. You're breaking up the bad luck that everyone else is getting.
Exactly. So whenever some of my YouTuber friends are saying, "Oh, I'm opening up some TCG stuff," I'm like, "Hold on, don't start yet. Let me send you some of my luck.
Let me get you there. I got it.
Let me get you that next full art or that next EX card." The other thing that people, well, first of all, I'm just admiring your fence because that's not, you can't have fences in Florida because it rains too much.
Oh yeah.
They rot.
No, this is my. Hey, you want to? Let me just do a little flip. This is my view right now. We got the Warriors game going on in there. Go Dubs! And yeah, no, it's a beautiful day out here. Like here, guys, here, have a look at California. There you go.
Oh my God, the jealousy. What I want to see is I want to see you.
It's supposed to be like this.
I want to see you do something with Nate and Morgan when they move out to LA. I know you live in San Jose, which they're not right next to each other, but you know.
It's 8 hours away, but
but like I feel like Nate's the type of person who, if you, and I met him like 9 months ago at Animate Miami, and I literally just spent the day just hanging out with them because they're that type of people.
Yeah.
And I'd love to see you do something with them. Like, I would love to see them work on an animated short with you, like as an actual gym leader.
That sounds pretty. Hey, you know, for anyone who's watching this, any viewers or another, I love collaborations. So, you know, keep that in mind if people are interested in stuff like that. You guys have an interesting idea, or if people want to be, if I start bringing back side by side battles, definitely be looking out on Twitter because I'm super down for those at all times.
Well, like that's the reason I'm doing this is because I want to be able to get to know some of my favorite content creators. But not even that, because like if I want to, I can just talk to them on Skype and learn about them. But the reason I'm doing this is so that other people can get to know them. Because like my channel, I think I'm sitting at like 23 subscribers right now. But for me, it's just a hobby.
Right.
Like I don't, my videos aren't monetized or anything. Like I just put out one video a day because I love doing it and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the thing is, I have always found that the more I know about a content creator, the more I enjoy watching their videos because like I get their inside jokes and I get those little quirks about them that separate them from the others.
Mm-hmm.
And like with you, the origin of your name, it lends like another level of depth because it's like, I was going to go with Nurse Geo because I'm an RN, but then I'm like, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't do that because at some point somebody's going to force me to wear the outfit. So I should probably go with something else. So it's one of those things, like, I know that you haven't seen this video, but on my channel, there's a video I just used OBS and I recorded Nips at his 5K stream telling the story of how he got his name. The short version is one of his friends gave him such bad titty twister that he got a lump in his nipple and he got surgery and now it's shaped incorrectly.
I love Drew. That guy's the best.
And the reason that I recorded it is because he actually showed the nipple at one point in the video.
Okay.
So I'm definitely gonna link that in the description down below because
please do. I'm gonna find this video and click it.
I mean, right now it's just sitting on my channel. I recorded it. I released it like a month after. And Nips is another guy that I have to interview. He, like you said, he's hilarious. He's so much fun.
Yeah.
He was the first person in the community that's like relatively large that I was able to like interact with more, not openly, but like more easily.
Yeah.
Because go.
Yeah, please go. No, go.
Because in a community like this, that's exactly what it is. It's a community. You can't do this alone and expect to get big or expect to be popular because people look for that interaction. Because if you're doing the videos for yourself, then people aren't going to enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wanted to. As you were mentioning about it earlier about all that was the element of YouTube that I thought was so great. You know, you mentioned that you do it as a hobby and it's fun and that's why you do it because you enjoy it, and I think that's imperative. I think you have to enjoy it in order to be making to make videos, to be on YouTube, because it is tiring. It's a lot of work, and if you're not enjoying it, then you're doing it for the wrong reason, especially if you're doing it for monetization videos. Like, it's nice to be able to have that option, but if that's the reason you're doing it, you're in there for the wrong reason. You're just going to get burned out, just like you would with any job that's not right for you. But I think the thing that makes it so much better during the hard times is that community. And when you feel like you don't have that, that's when it starts to feel lost on you almost. Exactly. And I think that's so great that there are people out there who just make you want to stay a part of the community. I definitely think Drew is one of those people. He's so friendly. He's so open. He wants to, bring everyone in on his channels and on his ideas. He has some great ideas too. He had the 10 Pokemon pick ban idea.
The Salty Runback series.
Salty Runback.
Oh.
I love that. I was a part of that series. I got to battle him on it, and I had so much fun. I just want to do that all the time with all the other Poketubers. I hope he keeps doing that forever and ever. That's such a great idea.
My favorite, and I'm obviously biased in this, but my favorite video on his channel is when I 6-0'd him in a battle. But here's why it was my favorite. He was high as hell on NyQuil or Dayquil or something.
There you go.
And I'm sure that contributed to it because for me, my strongest suit is team building, and I personally, as modest as I can be, I believe I'm a good team builder. But once I start the battle, I panic, and I make a bunch of misplays. But for one thing, he did bring a Bidoof to an OU match. Yes. Which is exactly what he does. That's why everybody loves him. Is because he had a Bidoof named Laughs Last because Bidoof laughs last.
Yeah.
And it was a simple Bidoof with Curse, Rock Climb, Quick Attack, and some other move. I don't even know what the last one was. But that's the only type of thing that he can do.
Oh yeah.
Nobody else can do that unless you're Nexus in an LC battle. But even if you're that, you're not going to name it Laughs Last. You're just going to name it I don't even know, man.
Something different. Yeah, Nips is great like that because he'll do things that just. I mean, he's the definition of things that no one's expecting. He's also the definition. He follows Magnitude's thought process in battling that makes him wildly inconsistent but incredibly fun to watch because Mag can blow a lead because he hasn't assessed win conditions adequately, or he can blow a lead because he goofs and makes a mistake on calcing.
Or he's wearing his Pornhub shirt and he's not paying attention.
Or he can just win because he's good.
Yeah.
They're both great battlers, but that level of inconsistency makes for really fun videos to watch. I've seen Nips get destroyed in battle so many times, and when you watch those videos, you're like, does this guy even know what he's doing? And then you watch him take down some, bigger name channel content creators who are good battlers, and you're like, see, he's got it. He's just inconsistent.
Like, my favorite thing is he
Nibs.
never loses to Shady. He beats Shady.
I know,
He beats Shady pretty much every time.
He's in his head, man. He is the game. He fucking plays.
I'm just
like
waiting
that.
for Nips to run into Shady's house naked like he promised he was going to.
Man, they probably play in the same room half the time, or like in the same house.
Well,
like,
Shady
Nips
just
brings
moved
laptop
in
over.
next door to Nips.
Oh yeah, I knew Shady was moving. I didn't know that they were moving in so close. That's for real. They're like right.
The house that Shady got is literally. I know you can't see this because my webcam is all wonky, but it literally goes Nips's house, grass, Shady's house.
That's awesome.
And
John and Drew together again. That's great.
And I'm pretty sure at one point Nips tweeted out that he could hear Shady screaming "It's a crit" in his house from his other house.
Yes.
Yes. And Shady's like, "Oh, I need to soundproof my room," and I'm like, "Don't you dare soundproof that room."
No.
That's the only thing keeping. That's the only thing keeping Nips
blow,
away.
If anything, blow a hole through the wall so that Nips can hear you at all times screaming "It's a crit."
In week 5, they battle for the GBA. Yeah. I want them to be in the same room, like literally on the same camera, battling each other.
The shit out of each other. Oh my god! Like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna switch out right now. Don't you do it? Don't switch out right now. I'm doing it, Drew. I'm switching out now.
Like, you want to talk about mind games? Imagine battling your best friend in the same room on the same camera in the most competitive setting possible.
Yeah, love it.
All right. So we're hitting the 30-minute mark. I don't want to keep you too long. You have a basketball game to watch.
I do.
I want to thank you so very much for being here and for joining me, and I want to thank everybody for watching. But with
thanks so much for having me.
I'm going to get about, and you can make your exit phrase.
I get an exit phrase. Shoot. Wait, so I'm following you. You're going to give an exit phrase. I'm going to give an exit phrase. We're going to do the same time. Let's talk over each other. Let's do that.
All right. 1, 2,
let's not do that.
3.
No, let's not do that.
All right. Why don't you do yours, then I'll do mine. Because I went first last time.
All right. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Thanks for watching this interview. And show some love to my man here, to the GBA, and to me. Come check out my channel. I'm sure the link will be in the description down below.
All right. But with that, we're going to get about. Best luck to you out there. I will see you all soon. Goodbye.